Why just one cup of beet juice could change your life forever. Have you ever wondered how one tiny habit could completely rewrite your future? Not in years, not even in months, but starting today? Imagine beginning every morning with a simple glass of beet juice, a small act that could create a cascade of profound changes inside your body. Better circulation, lower blood pressure, sharper memory, more energy than you've felt in years. It may sound too simple, but science and thousands of real stories tell a different story. It is a story of people who reclaimed their health, vitality, and sense of purpose, starting with one crimson glass each morning. This isn't a wellness trend, it's a quiet revolution. And today you'll discover why just one cup of beet juice could trigger an irreversible transformation, not just in your body, but in how you live your life. So stay with us, because what you're about to learn could be your most important health decision this year. What's hiding in beet juice that your doctor might never tell you? When you look at a beetroot, it seems simple, but inside it holds a powerful secret. Beet juice is rich in natural nitrates, betalains, vitamin C, and fiber, each playing a role in healing your body. Natural nitrates are quietly transformed into nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes your blood vessels, improves circulation, and lowers blood pressure. One study in the Journal of Hypertension showed blood pressure dropped within hours after drinking just one cup. Betalains, the pigments that give beets their deep color, work behind the scenes to fight inflammation and support liver detox. Vitamin C strengthens your immune system and brightens your skin, while fiber balances your gut and digestion. Beet juice isn't just a drink, it's a daily nourishment, a small habit that can protect your heart, sharpen your mind, and awaken your vitality. How beet juice lowers blood pressure in just hours. High blood pressure often creeps up without warning, quietly straining your heart and blood vessels. But a straightforward habit could shift the balance: drinking beet juice. Studies published in the Journal of Hypertension show that drinking just one cup of beet juice can lower blood pressure within a few hours. The secret lies in beetroot's natural nitrates. Once consumed, these nitrates convert into nitric oxide, a molecule that signals your blood vessels to relax and widen. With wider vessels, blood flows more freely, reducing the pressure inside your arteries without needing medication. This gentle, natural effect has been proven to lower both systolic and diastolic blood pressure, sometimes in at least 3 to 6 hours. Over time, consistent intake of beet juice can offer long-term cardiovascular protection, easing the load on your heart and giving you more life energy. A small glass, a small act, yet the ripple effect inside your body could be profound. Unlock endless energy with this morning ritual. If you wake up tired before the day starts, you're not alone. Aging naturally reduces stamina, but there's a simple, powerful way to fight back: beet juice. Research published in the Journal of Applied Physiology shows that drinking beet juice can improve endurance by over 16% in healthy adults. The magic again lies in beetroot's natural nitrates. As these nitrates turn into nitric oxide, they enhance how your muscles use oxygen. With better oxygen efficiency, your muscles tire more slowly, recover faster, and perform longer, even during everyday activities like walking or climbing stairs. Imagine moving through your day without feeling drained by midday. A single morning ritual, a glass of beet juice, can reignite the energy your body was built to have. It's not about pushing harder, it's about helping your body work smarter, naturally. Why your skin will thank you after just 1 week. Healthy, radiant skin isn't just about creams or serums, it starts from within. Beet juice, rich in natural nitrates and antioxidants, can transform your skin's vitality faster than expected. Thanks to increased nitric oxide, improved circulation delivers more oxygen and nutrients directly to skin cells. The result? A fresher, brighter complexion that feels alive. Beets are also packed with vitamin C, a key nutrient that boosts collagen production, keeping your skin firm and resilient. Meanwhile, the powerful beet antioxidants, betalains, help neutralize free radicals that cause aging and dullness. According to experts cited by Harvard Health, diets rich in antioxidants and vitamin C are strongly linked to healthier, younger-looking skin. By nourishing your body each morning with a simple glass of beet juice, you're giving your skin the inside support it craves, helping you glow naturally from the inside out. Beet juice, the unsung hero of heart health. Your heart beats over 100,000 times daily without asking for much in return. Giving it the proper support doesn't have to be complicated. A daily glass of beet juice could be one of the kindest things you do for your heart. Beet juice naturally boosts nitric oxide, which relaxes blood vessels, improves circulation, and eases the heart's workload. But its benefits go deeper. Studies from the American Heart Association show that the antioxidants and compounds in beetroot can lower bad LDL cholesterol while supporting higher levels of good HDL cholesterol. This dual action helps prevent plaque buildup in arteries, reduces the risk of heart attacks, and keeps your cardiovascular system strong and flexible. It's not a miracle cure. It's smart, steady care. A simple, natural way to thank the organ that's been carrying you since birth. How beet juice reawakens memory, focus, and creativity. It's easy to accept slower thinking or fading memory as inevitable as we age. But what if a straightforward habit could help keep your mind sharp? Drinking beet juice daily may do just that. Beet juice enhances nitric oxide production, improving blood flow, not just to your muscles, but to your brain. Better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reaching the areas responsible for memory, decision-making, and creativity. A study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that older adults who drank beet juice before exercising showed improved brain connectivity, particularly in the frontal lobe, the center of focus and planning. It's a gentle reminder. Your brain isn't set in stone. It responds to nourishment, movement, and care. And sometimes all it takes to unlock new clarity is a single glass, a single morning, and a single choice to invest in your mind's future. The natural liver cleanse you've been searching for. Your liver works tirelessly to keep your body clean, but modern life demands more than ever. Beet juice offers powerful support. Rich in betaine, beet juice helps your liver break down fats and flush out toxins more efficiently, protecting liver cells from oxidative damage. Studies published in Nutrients highlight that betaine supplementation can improve liver function, especially in people under metabolic stress. By nurturing your liver, you're nurturing every system in your body: digestion, energy, and immune strength. A single glass each morning isn't just a detox, it's a renewal. A small, quiet way of saying, I choose to thrive. Fight pain and heal from within with Beet's power. Chronic inflammation is a silent fire behind many modern illnesses: joint pain, heart disease, even cognitive decline. Beet juice, loaded with betalains and antioxidants, offers a natural defense. These compounds help neutralize oxidative stress and reduce inflammatory markers throughout the body. According to research in the Journal of Inflammation Research, betalains can significantly lower inflammation without the harsh side effects of pharmaceuticals. By calming internal fires, beet juice helps your body heal at the cellular level, easing joint stiffness and making movement feel natural. Healing doesn't always come in big gestures. Sometimes it's as simple as starting your morning with deep red resilience. How beet juice supports weight loss and keeps cravings away. Weight loss isn't just about willpower. It's about giving your body the right tools. Beet juice can be one of them. Low in calories but rich in fiber and natural compounds, beet juice helps you feel fuller longer and stabilizes blood sugar, reducing unhealthy cravings. A study in the Appetite Journal found that beetroot consumption led to lower hunger levels and better satiety after meals. Fiber supports gut health, while nitric oxide improves metabolism by boosting muscle oxygen delivery. Instead of fighting hunger all day, imagine working with your body, nourishing, energizing, trusting that small steps lead to lasting change. The secret drink for supercharging your immunity. Your immune system defends you every moment of every day. Strengthening it doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it starts with a single glass of beet juice. Beetroot is rich in vitamin C and iron, two essential nutrients for immune health. Vitamin C boosts the production of white blood cells, the army that fights infections, while iron ensures those cells are well oxygenated and fully energized. Research from the Journal of Immunology Research highlights how vitamin C intake enhances immune cell function and reduces inflammation. By giving your body what it needs at a cellular level, beet juice helps build an immune system that's resilient, responsive, and ready for whatever life throws your way. A daily cup is more than a habit. It's a shield you build for the life you still want to live fully. How a healthy digestive system starts with 1 cup. Your gut isn't just where digestion happens, it's where health begins. Beet juice, rich in fiber and natural prebiotics, helps nourish beneficial gut bacteria, supporting a healthier, more balanced microbiome. Soluble fiber in beetroot keeps digestion smooth, prevents constipation, and strengthens your gut's natural defenses. Meanwhile, its betaine content aids liver function, enhancing bile production to digest fats better. According to a study in the World Journal of Gastroenterology, improved gut health is directly linked to stronger immunity, better mood, and reduced risk of chronic disease. 1 small glass of beet juice can create a chain reaction, helping your gut, healing your body, and lifting your life from the inside out. Beet juice and its silent war against cancer cells. Cancer often begins quietly, long before symptoms arise. But beet juice may offer powerful, natural protection. Rich in betalains, deep red pigments with potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, beet juice helps shield cells from DNA damage, one of the first steps toward cancer. Research published in the Journal of Cancer Prevention found that beetroot compounds could slow the growth of breast, colon, and lung cancer cells. By neutralizing free radicals and reducing oxidative stress, beet juice creates an internal environment where healthy cells thrive and abnormal cells struggle to take root. It's not a magic bullet, but it's a smart daily act of self-defense, a quiet war waged sip by sip in favor of life. Beet juice benefits during pregnancy. You can't ignore pregnancy as a creation time, and every nutrient matters more than ever. Beet juice offers unique support for mothers-to-be, providing a rich source of folate essential for healthy neural tube development in the growing baby. Folate helps form the brain and spinal cord, reducing the risk of severe congenital disabilities. Meanwhile, the nitrates in beet juice promote better circulation, helping deliver oxygen and nutrients to both mother and child. A study published in Maternal and Child Nutrition highlights the link between adequate folate intake and improved pregnancy outcomes. Plus, beet juice can help reduce muscle cramps and fatigue, as well as everyday struggles during pregnancy, making it a small but mighty ally on the journey to motherhood. Drink it right. Best times, best practices, and smart tips. Beet juice can be transformative, but only if you use it wisely. To maximize benefits, prepare your juice fresh whenever possible. Simply wash, peel if desired, and blend raw beets with a splash of water or lemon for extra flavor and vitamin C absorption. The best time to drink beet juice is on an empty stomach in the morning. This allows the nitrates to absorb efficiently and supports better energy and blood flow throughout the day. Start small, about half a cup, 125 milliliters, and gradually work up to 1 full cup, 250 milliliters daily. According to Harvard Health, moderation is key. Consistent, gentle habits nourish the body better than extremes. Think of beet juice not as a quick fix, but as a daily ritual, simple, steady, and full of possibility. Hidden dangers. When beet juice may not be your best friend. As powerful as beet juice can be, knowing its limits is important. First, beet juice can cause beeturia, a harmless condition where your urine or stool turns pink or red. It's surprising, but not dangerous. More seriously, high oxalate content in beets may increase the risk of kidney stones in susceptible individuals. If you have a history of stones, consult your doctor before drinking daily. Beet juice also naturally lowers blood pressure. While great for many, it can cause issues for those already prone to low blood pressure, leading to dizziness or fainting. Studies from the Cleveland Clinic recommend moderation and personalized advice when using high-nitrate foods therapeutically. Respecting your body's signals ensures beet juice remains your ally, not your adversary. The beet juice ritual, a simple act of self-compassion. It's easy to overlook the quiet power of small, steady choices in a world obsessed with instant results. A single glass of beet juice each morning may seem simple, even trivial, but over time, it becomes a profound declaration. I care for my body. I honor my life. Every sip nourishes more than just your blood vessels or your brain. It strengthens your spirit. It reminds you that healing is not a one-time event, but a daily practice of kindness toward yourself. Modern science confirms what ancient wisdom has always known. Transformation doesn't come from grand gestures. It grows from small, repeated acts, planted and nurtured daily. The ritual of drinking beet juice each morning isn't just about health. It's about choosing vitality over resignation, movement over stagnation, intention over drift. At Buddhist Health, we believe that true well-being starts with presence, being awake enough to care, humble enough to begin, and patient enough to continue. Today, you don't need to change everything. You just need to change one thing. Start with a glass. Start with yourself. And watch how small acts repeated with love can transform your body and your life in ways you never imagined.